Hello again, my name is Mike Vorel, and this is the Pokes Authority Vidcast brought to you by Wyoming Central Federal Credit Union. Wyoming is coming off a 63-14 drubbing at the hands of Boise State on senior night last weekend. They're going into their season finale on Saturday at New Mexico. And when you look at this game, obviously there's not a ton on the line as far as bowl hopes. Those are gone. But it'll be interesting to see who plays quarterback for Wyoming this weekend. Colby Kirkgard, who had started the first 11 games, has a severely sprained left ankle. He's going to be day-to-day throughout the week. After Kirkgard went down early in the game against Boise State, Tom Thornton came in, played a little bit. He's been the backup all season. Sam Stratton, a senior, also came in and played a couple series and actually led a scoring drive. All three of those guys could potentially play. Kirkgard is questionable. If he can play, he'll definitely be the top guy. But if not, Craig Bull said you might even see some of both guys, Thornton and Stratton, in Albuquerque on Saturday. We'll see what happens. I talked to Stratton about being able to play against Boise State and preparing for this week. Here's a bit of that interview. All right, I'm here with senior quarterback Sam Stratton. Sam, first off, just getting in the game last week, kind of what was that feeling like for you, just kind of being asked to step in? How do you kind of adjust to a situation in game like that when you're asked to produce?
It was cool going in there and finally, being back to play, and with obviously Colby going down, and then just the way the game ended up being, it was, they asked me to go in there, so I did, the best I could, and obviously my knowledge of the playbook isn't as up to par with, Tom and Colby, but I went in there and tried to help out the team as much as I could.
Yeah, what's the mindset like this week where there's a lot of different options on the table? You could play some, or Tom or Colby could come back. Just kind of how do you prepare yourself when any of those likelihoods could happen?
You just, keep preparing the way you would any other week, and don't, make a big deal out of it, because then it becomes a mental game really. So, just we'll watch the film today and then, go over practice, and whatever happens will happen, and, besides that, it is what it is. So.
Right. What's the motivation like I guess, where obviously, the bowl is out the window, but for this just being your last game, and for a lot of the seniors being at their last game, what's the push like, I guess, to go out on the right foot?
Well, I think a lot will be figured out kind of at this practice, kind of getting the attitude and the vibe from that, because, you can't really tell what the team's really, how they're acting until we get out to practice. But, yeah, it's disappointing that, we ended up losing the way we did and not being able to go to a bowl, but I think for the seniors this week, we'll soak it all in and kind of, take our last breaths, per se, and, just enjoy it, because that's our last football game for most of us.
Yeah, with soaking all in, do you feel it this week, or does it kind of hit you that this is the last time going through all this stuff, or does that not really sink in yet?
I don't think it's even close to, because I haven't even, this is just what I've done my whole life, and, I know it's going to be over in, less than a week now, but it just doesn't seem real, because it's all I've known, so it definitely hasn't sunk in.
Gotcha. Thanks, Sam.
With Wyoming sitting at 4-7 this season, a lot of fans might ask, what do the Cowboys have to play for this weekend in Albuquerque? Wyoming's not going to go to a bowl game in the first season under Craig Bull. New Mexico, likewise, is not going to a bowl game. So what is really on the line this weekend at New Mexico? Well, there are 24 seniors on this Wyoming team, and those guys are kind of treating this game as a bowl game. Obviously, it's the last game of their college career. They want to go out on the right note. They certainly don't want to end their season with another loss after getting smoked on their senior night game against Boise State last weekend. So a lot of those guys are going to give one last effort and try to get a win in the final game of their UW career. To be able to do that, they're going to have to play well against a team that uses a triple option offense, runs the ball very dependently, with a couple different running backs and a quarterback. It's a similar system to what Wyoming saw against Air Force in a victory earlier this season. So they're going to have to be very assignment sound in Albuquerque and try to shut down that Lobos running game. We'll see if they can do that on Saturday afternoon. Until next time, my name is Mike Vorel. Take care.